Hey everyone. I think I mentioned in the announcements that I am going to start including flowcharts with your weekly code alongs. This is because it will teach you a skill that will help you plan out programs before you start coding. And when you're working with teams, actually, each team is going to do like a flowchart of their part, and then you all put them together to make sure it's working and connecting together called architectural design. And so I thought it would be better if we started with the simple ones. And you will notice when I did the code along video for the area and things of the shapes, I did it where you took all the inputs at once, and then I did the processes of calculating all the areas and then the displays. The flow chart is going to be a little different to show there's more than one way to do everything. So let me share my screen. Hopefully the right thing pops up. It's always embarrassing when personal emails pop up. Nope, no personal emails, but not the flow chart either. That is okay. Um, that's a manuscript I'm working on. I think you might know I'm also an author. Hold on. Uh, where did I put my things? Ah, here it is. Okay. So let me start with these flowchart symbols. Um, the end, before I forget, I rarely do these computerized like this, unless I'm working with other people. If I'm working on something myself, I just do it on a piece of paper with the pen. If I'm getting creative, I might color them in. I don't care. Because it's pretty much just circles, rectangles, uh, I'm forgetting my things, rhombuses, stuff like that. Okay, and so you can draw these out on a piece of paper. You do not have to have expensive software that does it. And sometimes, honestly, it's just easier with paper because software is annoying sometimes. Okay, so start and stops, they're obvious, they're just ovals. Anything that's doing an input or output is usually on these processes are rectangles rather, and decisions are rhombuses. So the parallelograms do the input output. So then there's these arrows and connectors, which we're not using yet, but you will eventually. I will post this in Teams, so you'll have it as well. Now, let's look at this flowchart that I made to show another way to do the area of the shapes program. So here we've got this nice start. Then we have our parallelogram. I'm taking the input and I'm making note to myself, I'm going to use a float for this. And then you could have put um, area of the square, or you could put the formula like I have here. Sometimes I'll just put what the math I'm going to do, like, oh, I want the area of this trapezoid, or I want the sine of this if I'm doing a video game. And so this helps you with uh, formulas if you want them on paper, but if you already have them in your head, you don't have to. Okay, so we started there. I'm taking input of the square, and I know I'm going to ask for the length of the side and that I want it as a float. Then this is my process, and this is should be a rectangle, but it's rounded. Like I said, sometimes software annoys me. Uh, so here I'm taking the area of the square and I'm showing the formula. Then I am showing the output here with the display. Then I'm doing the next one. So I'm taking the input for the rectangle. I'm saying I need the length. I'm also saying I need to input the width. Then I have the process of doing the area of the rectangle. Then I can display it. Then we're going to the circle. You see the pattern here? Um, Input, float for the circle's radius. That's what we need is the circle's radius. Then here's the formula for the process, and then the display, and then we're pretty much done. Okay, this is a simple, straightforward program, just like in the code along. Let me see. I should have thought of this. Uh, let's see if I can pull up a complicated one. Python flowchart example. You get to watch me be all kind of not as prepared. Here's an example here of something much more complicated. Uh, This will have decision trees and things like that. So as you see, the more complicated your program, the bigger the flowchart. And that's actually when flowcharts become really handy. So I think it's next week where you do it, you will write a choose your own adventure game. And you'll have decision trees where people will say, you'll ask them something and say, do you want to go here or here? And then your flowchart branches off. These flowcharts are remarkably helpful for that type of thing. Let me see if I can stop my share, I think. No, I think I stopped it. Who knows? Okay. So I don't know. Um, You can feel free to ask any questions about the flowcharts. These are not required. These are things I'm doing extra to help you, to show you how you can start planning things on your own. And I hope you find them useful. They'll get more useful starting next week, but try and write out a flowchart of your program before you actually write your program. It is equally useful to do it with these easy programs where I had listed out the steps ahead of time on my code along video, and you can do it that way. But as programs get more complicated, you're really going to want to do some planning first, and that's when flowcharts become your bestest friend ever. So I hope that helps. Um, don't forget to read weekly announcements. I put important things in those, and the spiritual thoughts too, I think are very important because we can't separate our spiritual lives from any other part of our life. And I put things that the Lord has done for me or shown to me, and I hope they're helpful to you. All right, bye. Have a great week.